So visually, everything's looking really good with our project. I'd say one thing is I don't like that the title isn't showing up here. So let's go ahead and move over to our base.html and just add something here. I'm going to call this Hall of Fame Vids, just like that. So I'll hit save, reload that, and there we go. I think that's really the last step that we needed. But visually, everything's good to go. There's just one problem that I have here. So for instance, watch this. If I create a new account, so I'm going to make a new account called Joe, do our classic password shenanigans, sign up. Look at the couple of things that I can do. So for example, I can go to like Hall of Fame /2 or like 1/add video. So page not, okay, this is the one page we protected. So this isn't a good example, but for instance, let's do like Hall of Fame /1/delete. We actually have the power to delete one of the Hall of Fames here. Like even though this is not our Hall of Fame, we can go ahead and do that. Same thing goes for like if I do video like 1 delete. Look at this. I have the ability to go delete this video, which we should not. It's like only the users who create a particular object should be able to delete it. So the question is, how do we fix that? We've sort of started with this in the one particular instance where, you know, if somebody wanted to delete a Hall object, let's go look at the code for that, because that was pretty impressive that we had that there. Where was that we were doing? Oh, this was in the creating the Hall. What were we just doing? I know adding a video. That's where we had done the confirmation. Ugh, had a little bit of a brain fart there. But we've got to do this essentially for most of the different views here. We don't have to for home or for dashboard, but for the rest, we really got to get this into play. And a great way that we can do this is by using these awesome little mix-ins that make it so that someone has to be logged in order to access some pages. But even from there, you know, we're going to get to some even more drill down stuff. So, because for example, like let's talk about this dashboard page. People should not be able to go to the dashboard page if they're not logged in. Like if I copy this URL, I log out, and then I paste in the dashboard, and I go there. Well, technically, we go there, but we get this nasty error because it's saying, hey, you know, anonymous user, we're not, like, that's not what we were expecting. We should make it so that someone has to be logged in to see all of that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say from Django.contrib.auth.decorators import login required. And we also want to do from Django.contrib.auth. And in this case, we want to do mixins. And then we're going to do import. And then we want capital login required mixin. Okay, I'm going to move these up by their friends here. But with these things, the first one is the login required. So for instance, if we want someone to have to be logged in to go to the dashboard, we can just do an @ and then we say login required here, and you just put it right on top of the view function that you want to protect here. And if we just save this, and I try and go back to the dashboard /dashboard, you can see, oh, it's going to take me to the login page with the next being equal to saying, oh, once they are logged in, go take them to the dashboard. So then if I log in via Matt or something like that, like boom, it will instantly take me to the dashboard. That's pretty cool how that all works. So when we talk about, you know, what particular views do we want to use this for? Well, we can only use them for functions based views. So I'm going to do this for my add video, right? Someone should only be able to do that if they're logged in. And again, we have the separate check to make sure that they own the proper hall that they're trying to add a video to. And as far as the video search goes, that's also something we want to make sure that they're logged in for. So we're going to add the logged in required there. But again, they really shouldn't be able to hit this unless they were at that page. They could probably, if they, you know, get real technical and look at the network traffic, they could find it, but something we want to do there. Now with these class-based views, if we want to require a login for these, well, the question is, how do we do that? Well, we use this login required mixin. And what we do is just copy that, And then here, for example, inside of the delete video, we say login required mixin, comma, and then keep whatever we have afterwards. So we want that for the delete video for a sign up. We don't want that. The whole point of signing up is that they don't have an account, so we'll keep that as is. For the creation of a hall, yep, they better be logged in. For a detail, yes, they better be logged in. Updating a hall, oh, actually detail, that's not one of them, right? Because someone should be able to share their hall with someone. Good thing we didn't get that. Update hall, we do want to do that one. And delete hall, we do want that. Okay, so that solves the issue that someone has to be logged in to go do the update, the delete, like all that good stuff. But let's talk about the situation of, somebody comes in and they want to delete a video, but they don't own that video, right? Like right now, we have nothing to protect our users from that. And so we've got to talk about, okay, how can we add some sort of protection in here to say if someone's going to delete a video, they've got to be the owner of that. Well, we are going to add a function to this class. So we're going to say def, and this is the get object. So this is when someone's going to go grab an object, meaning in this case, the video, and on a delete view, you have to get the object. And really all of these, I guess not all of them, but like the detail, you're going to use get object, and delete, you're going to use get object, and update, you're also. It's just the creation one where you won't have this. But we're going to go ahead and say self colon. Next thing we want to do is here is say, okay, let's go get the video. So video is going to be equal to super capital video delete. Let's use the name of this class, delete video. Okay, comma self. And then we're going to do dot get underscore object. So that's going to go and get the object, proper object that we're looking for. And then we just want to do a check here. We're just going to say if not video.hall.user is double equals signs to self.request.user colon, then this is where we want to raise a HTTP 404. But if that's not the case, then we simply want to return the video. So to check and see if this is working, let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to come log out and then re-log in via our new Joe user that we created. So we'll give a second here. We've got Joe. Log in our friend. Great. So now let's say, I want to say video/1/delete. Got to spell it correctly. Look at that. We get a 404 page because it's saying you're not allowed to do that. But if I were to go back and, for instance, for Joe, create a quick little Hall of Fame. Let's say best vids. For this one, add some video. Let's do some sort of Pokemon video. Oh yeah, the new Pokemon for Switch was just announced. And depending on which you're watching this, you'll be like, oh, that's old news. Or if you're watching this soon, you're like, oh, it's so cool, can't wait. Or you're like, who cares about Pokemon? So let's check out the delete button for this particular video. If I hit this, look at that. I can get to the delete because I'm that particular user that created this video. So everything's sort of working out here. That means that our code is good. So let's just go ahead and keep moving down here. Let's move on to with create hall. We don't need to do any checking there. Delete or detail hall, that's fine. Updating a hall. Well, that's definitely something where we want to make sure that we have the correct user signed in for that one. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say do that same sort of get object. So let's scroll up to where we do the delete video, copy that get object, come down. So for our hall update, we're going to change the class on this to update hall. That looks good. Instead of video, we're going to call this hall. So the thing that we're checking for here is just if hall.user is equal to self.requestUser. If not, raise HTTP 404. And then if that's not the case, then we're going to return the hall object. Okay, same thing to do here for the delete. So I'm going to copy this get object, do the same thing for deleting. So let's copy the name delete hall, but we still, this haul, that's all looking fine there. Okay, so with this in place, I believe we have everything we need to say that, people have the proper permission to do stuff. So let's just go ahead and test this out a little bit. If we do something like Hall of Fame, and let's do like the add video to try and do that to 2. Well, I can't because I don't own it, but if I do something like 4, well, then that works because I do own that one. Let's do a Hall of Fame / update. Okay, so if I update 4, that's fine, but let's say I try and do like 3 here, 404. Let's go ahead and try and do a delete. Okay, totally fine there, it rejects us. And if we try and go to 4, it says, oh, yes, you have permission to do that. Okay, so with this in place, you now are ready to move forward to deploying this thing. Really, genuinely give yourself a nice pat on the back that you were able to pull this off. I mean, this is a full-fledged website here. We're doing all sorts of checks to make sure we can properly delete stuff. We have some really cool Ajax things for like adding videos. This is not your average little hello world project. Like, this is something you need to share with your family and friends to say, look, this is the thing I made, and that transitions perfectly in deploying. Let's get this thing out live on the internet so that other people can check it out.